Good evening, students. Students, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you, man?
Fine, sir.
Today we are going to start the concept of limits. So, which is very much basic introduction to calculus. Whether it is differential calculus or integral calculus, so many things. The calculus is having an important role in science, first of all, not only in math. I think you already know in physics and kinematics and so many places, particularly in waves concept, if it is started. What is the importance of the calculus? Anyone can identify based on your experience in physics why we have to learn the basic math for physics, which is not even done in grade 11, but those basic concepts we are learning to proceed for physics some topics. We'll get some kind of symbols: d by dt, dx by dt, dv by dt, ds by dt, delta s by delta t. I think this is a beginning. In the beginning, in kinematics only, you will face these kind of expressions like a motion in a straight line, motion in a plane, uniform circular motion, d theta by dt. So I am expecting some response from you people. What you found? What is the importance of these things to understand physics? What kind of role it will play? Guys, many are here. No response from anyone. Please. Shida, Shriya, Raghav, Kirtana. Some answers. Like, suppose if you don't know what you will feel, what kind of struggle you may get, based on the technique I explained. Please, students, expecting some answers from you. Silence is not answer. Whether it is right or wrong, or I'm looking for an opinion. Before proceeding to this is an introduction. The 11th calculus is like an introduction of +2 calculus. +2 calculus is almost around 50% of the question paper will be only calculus for you. Please. No answers?
Sir, for finding any instantaneous value.
Instantaneous value. Why we can't use all the timings? That concept, why you are using only particular situations we are using that instantaneous? What are those particular situations? Understand what I'm asking you?
Can you repeat?
We won't use each and every time this concept, this d by dt symbols or delta by delta t symbols. We will use only in particular situations, not all the timings. Will you agree?
Yes, sir.
Why? Which situations you are using? Guys, many are here. No one is giving response. Please. Expecting some answer. Many are here, no one is giving response. Yes,
Sir, I joined late, sir. Can you tell me which chapter are we doing?
limits. That is only the chapter remain, no, in term one.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
And statistics. Sorry,
Yes, sir. Statistics.
statistics. Limits and statistics. Yeah, please. I'm asking you some questions. This is only the limits. Limits, we don't have much thing to discuss. It's completely logic-based question. If you understand this small logic, then limits is nothing. Please. Guys, please. Expecting some answer from you.
Sir, can you repeat the question once again?
What is the importance of the limits? And the Raghav, I think Raghav, you only gave the answer, no? To understand the instantaneous values of some quantities. But
Sir, when
we-
something happens at a particular time, we will know what value it has. For
yes,
that, we can.
we are not using the same kind of calculation always. We are using only particular situations. Are you using this? Always you are using d theta by dt or ds by dt to calculate the
No,
velocity. Some places straight away you are keeping the 0 to 5 seconds, whatever the velocity it is there, straight away you are doing that velocity divided by how much time taken. How much distance traveled, the total distance by total time you are taking straight away. You are not taking the small value of the distance within a small interval. But there are some cases you can't take it like that. The best example to understand this one, if you are calculating the work done in physics. In 10th standard, just work done is equal to force into displacement. We will calculate so many things in 9th standard. But when it comes to 11th standard, the same formula we will apply the integration. So when we can do directly, when we are using the differential calculation or integral calculus. Hope you are understanding, guys, what I am asking, particularly science students. Is it clear what I am asking, students? Students, please. Any other one? Raghav, no idea.
Sir, can you repeat, sir?
See, when we are dealing the the definition of work done, we are saying force into displacement.
Yes,
But we
sir.
won't use this formula always. Always we won't use this one. Sometimes we will use dw is equal to f into ds. To calculate the total work done, integral of dw is equal to integral of f into ds. When we will
Yes,
use this formula?
So the initial work done, it is used across a given time period.
Here I am not
Correct.
giving any period. Here also I am giving time period. Here also I am giving time period. Here I am doing the work done in a situation 0 to 10 seconds.
Sir, here the displacement is uniform, sir. But then displacement varies for all.
Yeah, so that's important. Here S is uniform. What is the meaning of S is uniform? When S can be uniform? If F must be uniform. That means if I'm having an object, if I'm pushing this object with 5 newtons continuously, 1 newtons, and not even changing the amount of the force. I'm pushing this object 5 newtons for 1 to 10 seconds, 0 to 10 seconds. Even if I'm observing I'm taking the reading of the force 0.00001 second, also it is 5 newtons. If I'm taking 0.000000001 second, also it is 5 newtons. Even at 1 second, also it is 5 newtons. 1.0001 second, also it is 5 newtons. So throughout the time, you're applying the same amount of the force and you're calculating the how much displacement, and you can use the direct formula here. But there is a situation. Initially, I started with 5 newtons. But next fraction of second, it went to 6 newtons. It went to 7 newtons. It went to 8 newtons. It went to 100 newtons within 1 second. In next second, the force will move to 200 newtons. In third second, the force is 300 newtons. That means each and every 0.01 second, the force is increasing by 1 newton. So if I'm pushing with that kind of force for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, how to calculate work done? Where you can't use our force into displacement formula. Why we can't use force into displacement formula? Because we have to split this 5 newtons, how much displacement is done, 6 newtons, how much displacement done, and 7 newtons, how much displacement done, and sum of all these work done will be the total work done. And even if I am taking between 5 and 6 also, it is 5.1 sometimes, 5.2 sometimes, 5.3 sometimes. If I am taking the time intervals very, very, very small. So your summation will not work here. It was not practically, it is not possible. Will you agree what I'm trying to say, students? That means there is a situations where the quantities are varying, where the physical quantities are varying. Whenever I am saying where the physical quantities are varying, how I can connect this concept to a math? That variation may be anything. What kind of variation so far we can understand? Direct variation, indirect variation. Even in direct variation also we are having many: linear, non-linear. Indirect also linear, non-linear. How many of people know these variations? After explaining, sir, this is only these variations. How you can represent mathematical these variations?
Using graphs.
Superb. Using graphs. That is the importance of the graph. I think Raghava sir already gave the much introduction about the graph in the beginning of the physics class. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now, so we are dealing math. So everything how I can connect. So here I am not going to take particular physical quantity. That physical quantity I am considering as a function. This physical quantity I am considering as a function. This function might be work done. This function might be power. This function might be displacement. Or this function might be time. Or this function might be acceleration or anything. Some function. Suppose if I am walking uniformly with respect to time. What is that meaning, guys?
The graph would be a straight line.
First, forget about graph. In 1 second, how much distance I traveled? In second also, I traveled the same distance. I will show you a little bit different variation here. First of all, if I'm talking about uniform velocity. So, sorry, I'm talking about rest. What is the meaning of rest? Here, this is a math. Here, I'm not going to bring the inertial frame of reference, non-inertial frame of reference and all. I'm not going to bring. Here, I'm going to bring some reference. That reference is an observer. Rest means what? I am at one place. The observer is standing here, and there is a distance between the observer. In 1 second, the distance is only 10 meters. In next second also, this distance is 10 meters. In third second also, the distance is 10 meters. The distance between the observer and the person. And where observer is at rest, is not moving with respect to ground. And don't take too smart and say, sir, with respect to some other space objects, we are moving. So that kind of silly questions will come sometimes. So here, even in 4th second also, the distance between observer and person is only 10 meters. Then I can say this person is at rest. How I can interpret this concept with respect to math? In mathematics, how we can say this one? How we can express this situation in terms of an equation? Anyone? Guys, calculus, if you connect practically, that is only the easiest topic in math. Or if you're trying to go like other concepts, that is only the toughest topic in math. So, might be you may listen different approaches. My approach is a little different in calculus. Please, I need your answers and your responses. Then only we can enjoy this class. Please, anyone? How I can interpret this situation in a mathematics? I think you understand. Everyone. Yeah, please.
Sir, is the equation like f of x is equal to 10t?
F of x is equal to 10t, then at t is equal to 0, the distance is 0, at t is equal to 10 meters, at t is equal to 2, it is 20 meters.
Yes, sir. Sir, the question is like for the first second he moves 10 meters, and the
He is
next
not
second.
moving. The distance between, this is the distance between O and P at that point of time.
So he's at rest.
That's only I mentioned here. That is physics. Without writing all these things, by using a single equation, how we can say that that scenario can be say as a rest?
Sir, then remove t, sir. That's it. F of x is equal to 10.
Look, f of x is equal to 10 with respect to t. That means where x is the distance between O and P, or S is equal to 10, is a linear equation which represents a constant. That means if I am taking a graph between time and displacement on y-axis, at 0 second also he is at 10 meters, at 1 second also it is 10 meters, at 2nd second also is 10 meters, and 3rd second also is 10 meters. So the graph is, this is a graph you will get. At any time interval, person is at rest. That is, if there is a change in t, how S is varying.
Sir, so this is a constant function.
So without analyzing the situation, without drawing the graphs, how I can understand? By seeing this simple equation, we can do easily from calculus. This is a simple equation. Suppose I am in motion. How I am moving? This is an observer. This is a person. The person can go only on straight line. For understanding purpose, I am taking. He can move only on straight line. He can't deviate with respect to observer. How he is moving? He is moving in such a way. Initially, the observer distance, and this person distance is 10 meter. At a t is equal to 0 when he started observation. At a t is equal to 1 second, it's 1 meter, and at t is equal to second, it is 1 more meter. At a t is equal to third second, it is 1 more meter. At a t is equal to fourth second, 1 more meter. And at t is equal to fifth second, 1 more meter. That means with respect to observer, if I am taking at t is equal to 0, 10 meters, at t is equal to 0, 11 meters, at t is equal to 2, it is 12 meters. Sorry, yes. Next is 13 meters, 14 meters, 15 meters at equal intervals of time. What is this says? How we can represent, how we can interpret the situation in an equation? And what kind of variation it was? Students, please. Guys, hope you are understanding what I'm saying. Amsini, Harshida, Kirtana, please. At least you have to say, yes, sir, we are understanding. No, sir, we are not understanding. Then I can change my pace. I can change this patterns. If I am not
Sir,
giving response. Yes,
f of x is equal to 10 plus t.
F of x is equal to 10 plus t. 10 plus 1t, I can say. It is showing a linear equation of slope positive. If I'm taking a graph, how the graph will come? This is t, this is s. I will get an equation like this. Correct? Am I right or wrong? Students?
Correct,
At t is equal to 0, it is 10. At t is equal to 1, it is 11. At t is equal to 2, so 12. T is equal to 3. But instead of this, and I can say I am moving with a constant velocity in case of physics. So the constant velocity says, with respect to math, the relation between displacement and time is a linear equation of positive slope. I can say like this. Students. Now, if I'm moving with, this is an observer and the person is also started at this point, t is equal to 0. And he can move only straight line with respect to observer. He can't deviate. In first second, he moved 1 meter. In second he moved 2 meters. In third second, he moved 3 meters. With respect to initial. Sorry. That means with respect to initial, this is 1 meter in t is equal to 1. 3 meter in t is equal to 2. 6 meter in 3 is equal to 3. That means he is increasing exactly 1 here. See, if you see 1 plus 1 is here, 2 plus 1 here. Again, next is 4 meter. He covered within t is equal to 4 seconds. That means he is not following a linear increment here. First of all, the increment, the change is not linear. How I can say the change is not linear? How I can say the change is not linear here? Is the change is linear? Students, I can say is the change is linear. Change is not linear here. Because if I am taking at 100th second, within between 100 and 101 second, he will cover a distance of almost 100 meter in 1 second. In 1 second, he can make a move of 100 meters. It means he is accelerating. How he is accelerating? Each and every second, 1 meter, he is increasing his speed. Here I can say displacement is not constant and velocity is also not constant, but your acceleration is constant. But there is a case if I'm saying the person is moving with respect to observer in such a way, f of x is equal to t square plus 5 or t cube plus 10. That means at t is equal to 1, the person is at a distance of, I'm taking the reference frame, at t is equal to 0, the person is at a distance of 10 meters. If for t is equal to 1, it's 11 meters. T is equal to 2 is in 18 meters. T is equal to 3. He traveled a distance of 37 meters. Here, your displacement is varying some other pattern, t cube plus 10. Got it, guys? What I'm saying? Are you clear what I'm trying to say? So the variation is not fixed in all situation. Sometimes even a small change will affect the entire function. I will show you the examples where it won't affect, where it will affect. This is the reason we are going to discuss a separate concept in math. We developed a separate concept in math called calculus. So that introduction is only the limits. Now, if I'm taking a function f of x is equal to x square, that means my y is a quantity which is depends upon x and varying with respect to x square. If I'm taking the table at different values of x, what are the values of y? If I'm taking 0, it is 0. If I'm taking 1, it is 1. If I'm taking 2, it is 4. If I'm taking 3, it is 9. Suppose if x is increased by very, very small value, x is increased by very, very small value. So x is increased by 0.01. What is the value of y will be increased? 0.0001. So x is increased at 0, but that increment is almost 0. If x is 0, y also 0. If x is increased a little, 0.01, y is also nearby its previous value only, 0.001. Students, understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Student,
Yes, sir.
suppose I'm taking the situation at x is equal to 1. I'm increasing the x value, very small value. If x is equal to 1, y is also 1. If x is increased by, which is almost equal to 1 but not equal to 1, 1.01, then what is your y value? If x is decreased by 0.99, what is your y value? Calculate and let me know. Use the calculators and let me know, please. Suppose if I'm asking you to rounding off without decimal, this value can be round off to 1. This is 1, and this value also can be round off to 1. So when x is equal to 0.1, and if at x square, what is its value? Guys, please respond. What is the answers you are getting? Guys, please respond.
Sir, 0.9901.
0.99 into 0.99. So this is coming as 0.9801, approximately equal to 1 only. 1.01 into
Sir, 10201.
which is also approximately equal to, if I'm rounding off. What is this meaning? At x is equal to 1, the behavior of y is equal to x square is, how we can say, if there is a change in x, suppose if x is changing from 1 to 1.001, where this change is negligible, and whatever the y value is getting, it is also negligible when compared to its previous value. Understood what is the meaning, behavior of the function? Students got it?
Yes.
Now if I'm taking x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 16, and if I'm taking x is equal to 4.001, then what is the y value? And if I'm taking x is equal to 3.99901, can you calculate y values and let me know? If I'm rounding off, this one, it is 4. If I'm rounding off this one, it is 4. Where the change means delta x, generally we will use the symbol for change, final value minus initial value. So what is the y value at 4.001, students? Quickly. Answer, anyone?
Sir, 16, 3 zeros, 800, 0.
Sorry?
16, 3 zeros.
What about here? 3.999. $15.9902001. If you understand this, if I'm rounding off, it is also 16. It is also 16 if I'm rounding off. That means if x is increased or decreased almost 0 value, the dependent value also, suppose if x is equal to 4, y is equal to 16. If 4 is increased by almost 0, the y value also will increase almost by 0. That means there is no much change to its neighborhood values. Neighborhood means its nearby values. But the same function, if I'm taking very, very big values, if I'm taking the same function for very big values, you can't see this one. Might be it is working at x is equal to 4, at x is equal to 5, at x is equal to 10, at x is equal to 100, at x is equal to 300. But if I'm taking at x is equal to 1 lakh and it is increased by 1 lakh.1, what I'm trying to say, students? Or if my function is y is equal to x power 97, if x is equal to 1, and if x is equal to 1.01, what is your y values? Y is 1. What is y value in this case?
Approximately 1.
Approximately 1.
No, sir. It will be greater, I guess.
How much? $2.625. See the behavior of this function. If I'm rounding off x is change. So if I'm rounding off this value, it is 0. Sorry, it is 1. That means even though there is no change in x, the y value is behaving differently. That means if x is equal to 1, in case of x is equal to x, y is equal to x square. Y is equal to x square. At x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. If x is increased by 1 plus or minus 0.001, y is also increased by 1 plus or minus 0.001. If x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4. If x is increased by 0.001, y also can be increased by 0.001. That means it is not affecting much if at x is equal to 2, at x is equal to 3. Might be it will affect at x is equal to 1 lakh, the same function. But in this case, in the beginning itself, it is affecting. Even there is a small change, straight away y is changed to 2.625. It is a very big change. I can't round it off to its previous value. Here I can round it off to previous value. At x is equal to 2.001, at x is equal to 2, at x is equal to 1.999. All values can able to y is equal to 4, I can say. But here I can't say like this. At x is equal to 1.01, at x is equal to 1, at x is equal to 0.99. I am getting 3 different values. What is this meaning? How I will know in physics at what values the same function will behave differently? If I'm taking the same function, some other places it might give differently. Suppose if I'm taking a graph of 1 by x, y is equal to 1 by x, y is equal to 1 by x. How the graph looks? Anyone having an idea? Y is equal to 1 by x graph. Y is equal to 1 by x.
Will go towards infinity. Y will go towards infinity.
I will show you y is equal to 1 by x graph, how it looks. So I'm taking y is equal to 1 divided by x graph. If you look into this graph, take only one region of the graph. See here, if I'm zooming out, even you can't see any graph here. What is that meaning, students? If I'm zooming in, then you can able to see some graph. See here. The variation can able to observe only between some particular values. That means the function can able to identify vary. But if I'm keep on changing, suppose if I'm taking this x value to 100, see here, at one particular point, this graph looks like a straight line almost. 10.5, even I'm at 10.5 here. See here, 16, 17, 18. If I'm keep on increasing, if I'm taking to 29, 27, 28, 29, that means if you look into this region, suppose if I'm looking into this region, your x is equal to 22, y is equal to what are the value? Almost it is coming 0 only. Even x is equal to 23 also, y is equal to 0 only. Even x is equal to 24 also, y is approximately 0 only. Suppose if I'm taking x is equal to 20, 1 by 20 is how much, students? What is the value of 1 by 20? 0.05 of x is equal to 30. Where I can round, how much you will get? 0.03. X is equal to 40, 0.02. Where all these things can be rounded off to 0. 0. X is equal to 100, 0.01. X is equal to 200, 0.002. And even x is equal to 201. See how much it is changing. X is changing from 100 to 1000 also. The increment in y is very less. There is no much change. But when x is equal to 0.1 and when change it to x is equal to 0.2, the same function. Suppose if I'm taking the same function, y is equal to 1 by x. When x is equal to 0.1, my y is equal to 10. When x is equal to 0.2, my y is equal to 1 by 0.2, that is 10 by 2, it is 5. And x is equal to 0.01, then y is equal to 100. Here, if I am taking the values, which is change, the change is very small, but the change at this region, see, the function is same. Here it is one kind of behavior, here it is one kind of behavior. So how to analyze these behaviors? A function is behaving differently at different values. Some places it is entirely constant. Even it is increased to infinity also, it will be maintained same value. It is almost equal to 0, but it never equal to 0. That is the meaning of infinity. 1 by x, if you put x is 1 crore also, you will get some value, but it is not 0. Even if you put 1 billion also, it will get some value, but it is not 0. But it is almost approaching 0 even at 100, even at 1 million or 1 billion also. But when it comes to below 1, there is a huge change. At x is equal to 1, at x is equal to y is equal to 1, and x is equal to 0.9, if you take, immediately there is a change. That change I will show you here. Suppose if I am seeing the change here, see here, you can see the change increment. But when x is almost decreasing 0, there is a huge increment in y. Huge increment in y. So this is a peculiar behavior for this particular function. And there are functions we can face in physics. I will show you that kind of function. I don't know. So, situations will rise in such a way. Sometimes I will get a graph for one equation like this. It shows a equation like this. Characteristics graph will say. Might be in +2 element. It will be like this. If you take y is equal to x power 20 graph, you can get these kind of graphs only. If I'm taking y is equal to x power 20 x, this is a graph. If I'm taking x power 2, see this graph. If I'm taking x power 4, you are getting this graph. If I'm taking x power 10, see the graph. If I'm taking x power 97, see this graph. If you observe these graphs, if power is increasing, the change, see, even I can't see the graph where it was at x is equal to 10. I can't even there is a change in x at within 1 point itself. See this one. From 0 to almost here, you can see the value of x is 0 only. But in case of square graph, you can see the increment. So the same x power 97 graph, see here, between 0.9 to 9.8 itself, there is a huge change. It went to like anything. See here, even 1, it is not crashed, it gone to 24. See how much height it is raised for a value of 0.01. This block says it is 0.01. How much height it was raised for a small change. But the same changes, this kind of behavior is not there at different values. At different values, it is varying differently. Even if there is a change in 0.001 also, there is a huge change. Sometimes it is not showing the change. It is almost whatever its previous value, it is behaving same, like y is equal to x square function. At lower values, x is equal to 10, 100. If I'm taking x is equal to 10.1, it is also, the y also nearby 100 only. It won't go somewhere 1000. How the function will behave at different values, how I can identify, how it can exist at that value, whether I got a relation in a process of some experiment, I got a relation. How I need to, because in experiments we can do only 10 readings or 20 readings or 30 readings. But how you can say for infinity readings how it will be? Using the graph only you can analyze. Based on the graph you can analyze where the function is not changed. Where the function is not changed. Suppose if the graph is y is equal to e power x. If I'm taking the graph is y is equal to e power x. E power 2 I'm taking. Log 10 graph log 10. Log 10, sorry. Ln 10 is coming as constant because it's a x square log. See this one. This is a log x graph. If you see the log x graph, there is a variation. That variation is nearby values. But if I am keep on increasing the value of x, see at one particular point, this is look like a above equation is a constant equation. See here at log 153, 154, 155, it is showing a constant line. Even 154 to 155 also it is having a constant line. Even at 141 also the same value. There is no increment in its y value. But the same log x graph, if I am looking into the beginning in the sense, see here at 4, there is a change 4 to 4.5, and there is a change at 4 it is here, and at 4.5 there is a change, significant change I can see. But whatever the value available at 4, the same value is not available at 6. But if I am taking it 300 or 500 or 1000, suppose if I am taking the graph, if I am zooming out the graphs, if you see, you can see only a constant graph. Look like a constant graph if I am looking into 1000 numbers. However, it is behaving between 0 to 10. It is not behaving at some other values. It almost like looks like a constant graph, but it is not actually a constant graph. Suppose if I am taking a e power x graph, y is equal to e power x graph. See this graph. If I am zooming out this graph, what you can find is, see, 0 to 50, even it is not crossed 50, the value is reached 200. The first block shows 50. See here. If a small change in x, there is a big jump in y. Even if there is a change in 0.001 also, there is a big change here. So how to understand this behavior of the function at that respective values? Particularly at zeros in the beginning we will start. In engineering and higher studies, we will discuss the changes at all points. To understand this concept, we will start with how it is behaving at 0, because a few functions behave peculiarly at 0 also. How the functions are behaving at 0, that we are going to discuss here. If there is the change is very, very, very small. How much change is very, very small? Even the change is almost 0. X is equal to 1. And if x is increased by 0, that means almost 1.001. Then what is the behavior of y? How I will understand? Each and every time I can't take a tabular column. Each and every time I can't use the graph. So I need to prepare some set of strategy to understand the behavior of the graphs, whether I can proceed or not, whether it can be possible or not with this kind of relations. So initially we are starting with existence of the values or variations at that value, at dependent values. We will start with limits. Limits, simply I can say, if there is a change in dependent variable as an independent variable, how the dependent variable is changing. You can use the tabular columns. You can use the graph to understand. Along with this, you can use the limits concept to understand the behavior. Understand, guys, what I'm saying? Or I'm only preaching otherwise. Students, are you clear? Anyone having feeling any kind of confusion, or sir, what it is? We expected calculus means money, equations and all. Yes, it will come. Once we started means only equations will come. No discussions will come here. Hamsini, Harshida, Kirtana, please. Madhumita, Makesh.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Understood.
Yeah. So there is a wide, huge ways you can relate the calculus to geometry also. So one example I will give related to the geometry to understand how the calculus is important. We are keep on telling if there is a change, what is it? Suppose if I am taking a graph, some curve graph. What is the meaning of curve? Suppose if I am trying to travel on this path, each and every point I am changing the direction. So when I'm at this position, I feel I'm traveling in this direction. When I'm at this position, I feel I'm traveling in this direction. When I'm in this position, I feel I'm traveling in this direction. I'm feeling this turn. So that means you are changing your direction. How I will know? If you draw a tangent, then only I can understand how I am changing my direction. So how to understand how the curve is bending? Suppose if I'm taking a graph like this. At these points, the curve is not bending much, but when it comes to this situation, the curve is bending too much, more curvature. Suppose if the graph is like this, till here there is no curvature. This is the reason where it is having more curvature. So how to understand the change? You can use the limits concept. It will use the slope. If you understand the slope at that point, the variation of slope will explain how the curve is changing. That we will get in tangent and normals of +2. There we will discuss. But just I'm giving an example where it will be useful for us. So from this discussion, we can understand what is the behavior of the function. If there is a change in function, which is almost equal to 0, is called limit of that function. Simple. Understand what I'm saying?
Sir, can you repeat?
If f of x is equal to x square, if x is almost equal to 0, what is the f of x value? 0. If x is almost equal to 1, what is the f of x value? Some constant. If x is almost equal to 2, that means it might be 2.001, it might be 1.999, but these three values should be equal to one value. Then it is called limit of x, that function is equal to that much. Understood what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It is very clear. Existence of the limit here. If I'm taking f of x is equal to x square, the limit for the same function, the function is x square, the limit might be exist at x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 1. I will tell you what is the meaning of existence. At x is equal to 1, the y is equal to 1. At x is equal to 1.001, the y is also around 1.00001 only, might be approximately 1 only. Even x is equal to 0.99, y is almost 1 only. That means if x is almost 1, the meaning of almost 1 means 1 plus or minus 0.001. 1 plus or minus 0.001. But your y value is almost same. There is no much change in y value. Then I can say the limit of x square is exists at x is equal to 1. But the same function at x is equal to some 1 billion, I can't say whether it is exist or not. Suppose if I'm taking limit x tends to 1 x power 97, I can't say it is existing. Why I can't say it is existing? Because if I'm taking 1.001, if I'm substituting x is equal to 1, I'm getting f of x is equal to 1. If I'm substituting x is equal to 1.001, how much you are getting? Anyone? Students, if I'm substituting 1.001 power 97, how much I'm getting? I'm getting y is equal to 1.01, 1.10. So 0.1 is a huge change actually, but might be if I'm rounding up, it is 1. But I am increasing. It is not actually neighborhood value. Neighborhood value means which is the change is almost 0. That Lx must be 0 almost. Suppose if the same function, if I'm taking 2 and 2.001, might be you can see the difference. I think previous one example I told you, even though a small change, the change is almost equal to 0, but you can see a big difference there. One function I showed to you. That means there the limit is not exist. The limit is not existing means at that particular value, we can't explain its outputs. If x is equal to x square is 4, x is changed a little bit, x square is also changed a little bit only. It won't show much variation. Then at x is equal to 2, x square I can define properly. That is that how I will know. Either I can substitute and I have to explain, or either I have to explain through the graph, or either I have to use the limits concept. When I can say the limit concepts, the existence of this limit, we have to test it. What kind of test I'm doing? See, whenever I'm explaining, I'm taking one value less than that approaching value. One value is a little bit greater than an approaching value. To explain the existence of the limit, the meaning of existence of the limit means existence, defining where we can able to define the function properly at that point. Suppose if I'm taking limit x tends to h at x is equal to f of x, I'm getting some value k. To say it will be exist or not, if h is increased by a small value where delta h is 0, if h is decreased by a small value delta h 0, your k also should increase by plus or minus small value only. That means k, even at x is equal to h, you are getting k. At x is equal to h plus delta h also, you should get almost k. At x is equal to h minus delta h also, you should get almost k, where delta h is almost 0. Then I can say the limit of this function exists at x is equal to h. That means it is not meaning it is existing, it can be defined at all values. It can able to define only at this value. I can't say it can able to define at other values. This is one place. One is one of the application where we will use in physics, existence of the values, where the quantity can able to define, where the quantity can able to possible values can able to take, where the quantity can't increase. In case of transistors and diodes, at particular current or a particular voltage, you won't get more current. So you can't keep on increase the current. At one point of view, even if you supply 1000 volts also, you can't increase the current. So to understand, it's a little bit out of the box. To understand the use of the limits, I will show you here. Suppose if I am taking there is a diode. I think you know LED is one diode, light emitting diode. If I'm taking the characteristics of the diode, characteristic graph of the PN junction diode, that means I will tell you what is the meaning of characteristics. You take an LED and draw a graph, connect in a circuit, draw a graph between voltage and current for that LED. If I'm increasing the voltage, the current should increase according to Ohm's law. That is for conductors. At constant temperature and physical parameters, voltage is directly proportional to current. But in case it is not valid for all the electrical and electronics appliances. If you take LED, if I'm keep on increasing the voltage up to particular level, only current will increase. And beyond that, even if you increase a 0.01 voltage also, the current will go up to infinity for a small change in voltage. That means where the LED will burst. How I will know? So I will create an equation when I'm doing theoretically, and I will try to explore where it is not possible to work. So here limits concept will be useful. If I'm taking that voltage, a little bit more voltage, if it is showing the variation where the limit is not exist at that value, till what voltage the limit is existing, then I can say current will flow and there will be variation in current. Where the limit cannot exist, that means where it is a cutoff, where the current will increase infinity even though small change in voltage. That means you can't increase the voltage beyond that. So this is a benefit of and use of the limits in various situations, but we won't do up to that level to understand variation of a function if there is a change in its dependent variable. So from this I can say one thing. What my observation? If I'm taking limit x tends to h, f of x is exist or not. The meaning of this is I'm taking on a number line h value. If I'm changing a h is very, very small value where delta h is almost equal to 0, that means I'm moving on right side. If I'm decreasing the h value, very, very small value, I'm moving on left side. This h plus delta h can be written as h plus. H minus delta h can be written as h minus. This shows the change is almost to 0, whether it is increment or decrease. So to explain the existence of the limit, the left hand limit and limit at that point and right hand limit must be same. Then I can say limit exists at this point. Understand, students, what is the meaning of limit now? Of a long discussion, like a story. Students, please respond. Guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So now it will be easy to understand wherever your symbols are coming for limit. Why we are using the limit in physics. To understand the variation, but we never saw the unexistence of the things. Very rarely we can see for advanced level or some other levels. We won't see in +1 level. Everywhere, just we will write the equation, we will proceed to the differentiation straight away. But there are some situations at that particular values, the limit can't be exist. For example, tan theta, limit can't be exist at infinity. Anyone can say why? At 90 degrees, the limit can't exist for tan theta. Why? Anyone can say why limit can't be exist for tan theta at theta is equal to 90 degrees? With this discussion. Why we are saying, will you remember when I am explaining trigonometry, tan theta we are taking as infinity 1/0, but actually it is undefined. Here we will get the clarity why it is undefined. Why I am saying undefined?
Sir, because even if the x-axis is constant, y-axis we can increase it to any extent.
No. Yes, almost you reached, but accurate point is different. I'm expecting a little bit different point. If I'm taking tan x, how the graph is looking, students? If I'm taking a value here, 90 degrees. Suppose if I'm changing the graph to trigonometry graph. If you see the graph is at 90 degrees, 0.5 means it is a 0.5 means if I'm zooming out, then you can able to see this one. Yeah, hope you can able to see clearly. Now, why I'm saying very strongly, why the tan 90 is undefined, why we can't consider as 1/0 or infinity in calculus in higher level. The meaning of undefined in physics is what? I will show you here. Suppose if you take this region, this is the, I think, hope you can able to see everyone. Yeah, this is a region. See this one. This region pi by 2. So if you see the graph, less than pi by 2, it is entirely positive, and greater than pi by 2, it is entirely negative. That means, according to concept of trigonometry, we won't observe much. This point we won't observe much. Just we will say it's second quadrant, it is positive, first quadrant, it is positive, second quadrant, tan is negative. If my function is tan theta, theta is equal to 90 plus 0.001. The answer is how much? Negative of very big value. Might be billions or millions. If I'm taking 89.999, if theta is equal to 89.999, which shows the first quadrant, it is the second quadrant. It is positive of billions. Your theta is 90 only. It is neighborhood 90, left side of the 90, right side of the 90, and right side of the 90 and left side of the 90 only. Theta is not changed. But see here, even 89.9999999, I'm taking some 100 nines here, 100 decimal points. My tan theta is positive and it is very high value, almost infinity. But same tan theta is negative at infinity if 90.0000001, even if you take 100 decimals or 200 decimals. The change is what? This whole value can be written as 90. This whole values also can be written as 90. That's the reason 90, the tan is not defined. The limit of the limit theta tends to 90, tan theta as undefined. Now understand what is the exact meaning of undefined and infinity, students. Here you will get a clarity meaning of undefined. Might be in 10th standard you won't get clarity. The book says only it is undefined. Students, please respond.
Understood, sir.
What is the meaning of undefined? How I will know? But same tan graph, if I'm taking a tan 45, it is defined. Limit theta tends to 45, tan 45 is 1. Even if I'm taking limit theta tends to, you can use the scientific calculator, take 44.9999 and 45.0001. Your value is almost approaching 1 only. But the same thing can't be possible at 90. That means that the tan function is not defined at 90. Calculus point of view, you can tell without graph and without anything. And how we will know? Based on trigonometry, if left side of the 90, yeah. So according to trigonometry, also I can explain, if theta is less than 90, it is in first quadrant, and tan is positive. And if theta is greater than 90, it is in second quadrant, tan is negative. That means at single value, it is behaving with the two different values, where it is ending at positive infinity and starting at negative infinity at exactly theta is equal to 90. So the existence of the limit is not possible at theta is equal to 90. You are getting three different value at single x value. When x is approaching 90, I'm getting three different values I can able to define here. So how to calculate? That is only our syllabus. How to explain, how to make existence, to check existence or not. That is only our duty in this chapter. That is only main objective of this chapter. That's it. That is only the limits for us. Even for +2 also, beyond that we won't learn. And also, certain functions, because of its form, we feel that is not defined. That not defined, I can't say, it's wrong word. I'm saying not defined. Indeterminate form. I will show you what is an indeterminate form. Suppose if I'm saying limit x tends to 5, x square minus 5 by x minus 5. I can say if I'm x square minus 25. 25 minus 25 by 5 minus 5 is equal to 0 by 0. You can't say it is 0. It is not 0. This form is called indeterminate form. This is not 0. Because of its expression, it is not possible to calculate if it is in this format. Only the thing is, there is an existence of the limit for this. Instead of calculating with this expression, if I'm applying x square minus 25 by x minus 5, limit x tends to 5, x minus 5 into x plus 5 divided by x minus 5, x minus 5, x minus 5 cancel, x plus 5. So if I'm applying limit x tends to 5, x plus 5, this is 10. Same function if I'm substituting directly, suppose if x is equal to 5, substitute x square minus 5 by x minus 5. I'm getting 0 by 0. The same expression, if I'm simplifying as x plus 5, answer is 10. Both are same. This is equal to this. But if it is in this format, at this value, you can't able to determine. So there are some functions at different situation. The function, because of its format, you can't able to calculate. So what kind of functions? At what values we can't calculate? Even though the value is existing, because of its formats, its form, you can't calculate. That's the reason we will call as an indeterminate form. Whenever indeterminate form comes, we will do some calculation and we will calculate. So to understand the indeterminate forms of this functions, simply we can't say limit is not exist, sir. 0 by 0 is not existence. It's an indeterminate form like this. So all these things we are going to discuss in next class. So anyone having any doubts related to the concept of limits, please let me know before going to the numericals of the limits. Now next class onwards, we will discuss completely numericals, like how to calculate limits, algebra of limits, some basic rules of the limits and formulas of the limits, and we will wind up the sessions. Students, please. Anyone having any doubts? Raghav?
No, sir.
Yeah, shall we meet in next class?
Fine, sir.
Yeah, bye. We'll meet in next class.
We have time now, sir.
Sorry?
We still have time now, sir.
10 minutes only, no? We started at 4:30. 10 minutes. I have to go for one more class. I will take tomorrow extended time a little. I think today is Wednesday now. This week I will take to complete the statistics maximum this week.
Okay, sir.
We'll meet in next class. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.